Here's the first pitch.
Except, here's a long one. Way back there. Adios! Pelota!
Y'all boys are hyped right now, man.
I'm my favorite
Y'all
manager
ready?
of all time.
Y'all ready to go? I got the best
Yep.
manager of all time.
Hold on.
What'd you say?
First of all, yeah, we're ready. We'll talk about it.
And I already started recording. Welcome to the Adios Pelota. This time around, we're not just talking about baseball. We are drafting. Just like WWE, when we did our fantasy drafts there, we brought that fun here to baseball. I've been waiting for these three. Naz, Kyle, Mario, my boys. I have to put the rules out real quick. So it's 1 minute. All right, I already got my timer on. If you do not get your pick in that 1 minute, we get to choose as a collective of who you pick. So yes, you will get Marvin Bernard if I have to choose. Okay, so so the order is this way. All right, it's serpentine like always. Naz, you got the first pick overall, and then it's me, then it's Kyle, then it's Mario going back to back all the way through. The positions we are picking from, and then you don't have to go in this order. Your starting pitcher, your closing pitcher, your DH, which is interesting. Having a DH is real interesting. Your catcher, your first, second, third base, shortstop, your left, center, right fielders, and a throw one is your manager. So as an owner and a GM, a lot of this is going to play a role. And I'm just excited. I don't know about y'all. I feel like I know who Mario's going to pick. And I feel like Kyle's is going to be that cock blocker.
Oh, absolutely.
So, are y'all ready?
I'm ready.
I've been ready since you said we were doing a
I've
draft.
been ready since like 3 or 4 days ago.
Why didn't y'all tell me to wear a hat, bro? Everyone's fucking wearing a hat. That's too late. No, I'm too excited to start going. All right. So, Naz, you are officially on the clock.
All right. So I said it on the chat that I was going to throw some curveballs in there. I'm picking my manager first.
Whoa!
I'm picking my manager first. The dynasty manager. I'm going with Joe Torre as my manager.
No way! No
Right
fucking
off the
way!
bat.
No
I can
fucking way!
pick a good team, but I need a good manager, and I'm taking Joe Torre, one of the best managers from the '90s.
There is no fucking way you chose a manager first overall, bro.
I
was
took my
gonna wait
manager.
for that, but I already know who Fred's gonna pick now.
It's a wrap. It's a
Yeah.
fucking wrap. So let me stop his stuff, and then I'm about to start mine with the second pick in the 2023 steroid. Oh, I forgot to say, this is the steroid era. 1994 to 2004, and the only thing you have to do, you already typed it in, I already know, Mario, that you have to have a minimum of 4 years in the majors within that decade. So, with that being said, Bonds. I'm taking Bonds. Like Barry Bonds is off the clock. It's off the.
That should have been the first pick. That should have been the only pick. But whatever.
The thing that hurt me the most is I know Kyle, Mario. I don't think you're getting those picks that I thought. I think you're gonna go somewhere else with this because of what just happened with a manager going first. So
No, my
Kyle,
pick changed.
you are officially on the clock.
So me and Mario talked a little bit before this.
Cheaters.
There was a little bit of collusion.
So I'm gonna pick the player that changed the game in the '90s.
There you go. There you go. I love it. I was going there because I thought Naz would pick Bonds. I was gonna go Griffey.
And if you would have picked him, I would have been highly upset because my entire draft.
You say you're going Ken Griffey?
Yeah, he's going Griffey, and respectfully so. Like he was the Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? He was the swag. He was the swag of baseball. Like Kyle, I was gonna pick Griffey because I thought Naz was gonna go there, but hey, that's a good pick for you right now. So Mario, you have 2 minutes to go back to back.
I'm ready. I'm ready for back to backs. So my next pick is gonna be the greatest shortstop of all time.
Cal Ripken.
Alex Rodriguez. Alex Rodriguez.
Oh my gosh. He takes
696
A-Rod.
home runs, baby. You can't get that from no shortstop.
Oh my gosh. He took A-Rod. Hold on.
He did play a shortstop.
No.
The man,
I have him at shortstop too as well.
the man who should have been the rightful shortstop in New York, A-Rod. That's who I'm picking.
All right. So now you got your shortstop. Where are you going next?
The GOAT. You can't win if you can't hit. I'm taking the greatest closer of all time, Mariano Rivera.
I think you slept on somebody, but it's all right.
No, that's fine. Mariano Rivera has a career sub 200 ERA. Have fun. Trying to hit.
I'm not gonna say what I'm not gonna argue that. I just know that he's gonna slip to me. So Kyle, you're officially on the clock.
So
20 clovers.
this player was a giant back in the day. He killed a bird. Nothing. Taking Randy Johnson.
I was gonna pick him next.
Like
Oh shit.
I thought about picking another player, and then I was like, I can't let this guy slide.
You're gonna be upset.
Hmm.
No.
You had the big unit, bro. The fucking big unit.
Oh, no, not you.
All right. So with my pick, I'm going with someone that I have to take, and you know, this person to Mario was annoying this year. I'm going with Winnie the Pooh at
That's
first
fair.
base.
That's fair.
That was gonna be my pick, but I had to go with Johnson.
That I'm going. You gotta like when it came to Albert Pujols breaking the league. Like this was one of my favorite play. One of the like you talk about batting stances. That was one of the most unique ones you'll ever see. So I'm going. I have Pujols and Bonds at my 3 and 4. My I'm good. Now I can go around with this. Naz, you have 2 minutes to officially pick your next two. And I have to watch the stream so I can see this. Hold on. There you go.
All right. So I'm gonna go with my right field. I'm gonna take Tony Gwynn
I
for
was
right
gonna say
field.
I thought Mario was gonna take him. He's
Not
a
that
big
really.
Tony he's a big Tony Gwynn fan.
I'm a huge Tony Gwynn fan. I love Tony Gwynn a lot.
And
I should have worn
then
that.
let's see. For my next pick, I'm gonna go to my catchers, and I'm gonna take Mike Piazza.
Of
That
course
was
you are,
smart.
Mets fan.
There's
Of
only three
course you
catches.
are. You said what did you say, Mario?
There's only three catchers worth of shit in this time frame, in my opinion.
You are absolutely
So
right.
like, yeah.
So you take Mike Piazza and Tony Gwynn for your two picks, and now I'm officially on the clock. So I have to go with So I got Pujols, I got Bonds, so I have bats. Now I have to go into my bullpen and get my starting pitcher. And everybody knows how much of a fan I am of this guy. I'm going with Kyle's team. I'm going
Oh,
with
thank
Pedro.
God.
I'm going Pedro Martinez.
Even though he was on the Expos during that time that you picking him.
I mean, it's fine. It was
I'm
still
going
good.
I'm going Pedro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
That's why.
Kyle, you're officially on the clock.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take. I'm a little biased when it comes to picks because I like to live in the pack. I'm picking my favorite third baseman all time, Chipper Jones.
Chipper. That's good. I was gonna go there.
Larry. You mean Larry?
Larry Jones.
Yeah, that's his name.
All right, Mario. Back to back picks. Let's get it.
Well, I am a Randy Johnson fan. He is my favorite pitcher. But I wasn't going to be the first pitcher I take. I'm really leaning into the steroid era thing.
Yes,
I'm picking.
Roger.
I'm picking the greatest pitcher of all time. 7 Cy Youngs, 2 Triple Crowns. Give me Roger Clemens, senor.
Roger Clemens. It is. I was never a fan of his. I'm not a hater or anything, but it's just I was never a fan. I was just never a fan. So now that you got your starting pitcher, where are you going next?
I'm gonna go hit the outfield up and take one of my favorite outfielders of all time. I'm gonna take Chef.
Oh, Sheffield.
Put him in right field.
Yep, that was his official. Hold on, that was his official
He
spot.
played third base as well, but I want him as a right fielder.
Yeah, we all know him as a right fielder, though.
I'll probably put him at DH eventually after I
shit.
make some other picks.
At the wrong spot. All right, so now you got
No,
Clemens.
you got Gary Sheffield on Kyle, dog.
Huh?
What?
He has Gary Sheffield on
I mean,
Kyle.
I'll take
No.
Gary.
You
Oh,
have Gary Sheffield
oh,
on
take
oh,
Gary. I'll take Gary.
No.
Better?
Yeah, that's much better.
Wait a minute. Oh, you haven't picked yet. Okay, so Kyle, you're next. Let's go.
Quick, I'm taking a catcher.
I already know what it's gonna be.
I already
don't
know
think
too.
you do.
I know
I'm
you're
a-
picking him. You have to pick him. You have to pick him.
Ivan Pudge Rodriguez.
Pudge.
That's
You have to take Pudge, bro. You have to take
So-
Pudge.
I battled because, my boy Veritek. But it's okay.
All right, so now that the catchers are going slim, I'm taking the third most important one. I'm taking Jose Posada. I'm taking Jose Posada because I I gotta take Jose Posada before you can have Jason Kendall if you want. All right, so I took my catcher. I got Jorge Posada, and now Naz, you got the next.
All right, let's see what we got there. All right, I'm gonna go with my first baseman, and we're gonna stick with the steroid. I'm gonna take Mark McGuire.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Good pick.
Mhm. That is a good pick. That really is. I'm not even gonna lie. I kind of like slept on him. I'm not even gonna lie. He's not even on my fridge, my pool. Go ahead, Naz. I forgot about him. Damn.
I'm double picking again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so next I'm gonna take my right fielder, and I'm gonna stay with the steroid, and I'm gonna take Sammy Sosa.
You can't get a right fielder. You already got Tony Gwynn.
Oh, that's right. My bad. I'm over
You
here.
can
I'm
put Sammy
paying.
Sosa DH though. You
I
can
could.
put him in the
I
DH.
Yeah.
could.
So
You know what?
put Sammy at DH.
You know what? No, I'm gonna go to my closers, and I'm gonna take the second best closer in history, Trevor Hoffman.
No, that's not. Yes, sir. You guys left my boy.
Who Gagne or Nem?
I'm smirking
One
at
of those.
both of them. No, it's not. So y'all were disrespecting my boy, but I'm going with another bat. So I got Jorge Posada, I got Pujols, I got Bonds, and I got Marley right here with his shirt off over here. So let's see. This is tough. I'm gonna go. No, fuck it, because y'all keep disrespecting him. I'm gonna take my closer. I'm taking K-Rod.
Okay.
Y'all keep disrespecting the most closing saves.
Oh yeah, I thought it was Gagne, but it was Gagne and then K-Rod.
K-Rod took over that, so I'm taking K-Rod. Go ahead, Kyle. You are officially on the clock.
Alright, so you guys may know this person as DH. I'm gonna put him as a first baseman.
Poppy.
I'm gonna take Frank Thomas.
Over David
Woo!
Ortiz, huh?
Oh my!
Hold on. I'm taking Frank Thomas.
And you're putting him at first. At first, okay.
I was gonna. That's wild. I was gonna leave you David Ortiz too. That's fucking wild.
I out of respect, I did the same thing.
That
I
was
was giving
wild.
it to you.
Fuck you, right? All right, yeah, I bet.
All
Yeah,
right,
fuck
so
you, right?
Mario, your next two picks.
All right.
Let's go.
I grew up a second baseman, all right? And I'm going to take one of the greatest second basemen to play the game and probably the second greatest Toronto Blue Jay to play the game. I'm going to take Robbie Alomar.
Okay.
Junior.
That's a good pick.
I'm upset.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, that was an attack on Naz there. I'm taking Robbie Alomar. I had to take him because I think he was the best second baseman during that time frame. Yes, Jeff Kent did win an MVP, but Robbie Alomar was just the better overall, all-around first baseman. He had some power. He had some pop. He was a perennial Gold Glover.
Hey, you're on the clock. Just let you.
I know. I already know my next pick is. I already know who my next pick is. So I'm gonna do a little position swap here. I'm gonna move Gary Sheffield to DH for myself
Okay.
today.
Damn,
And
man.
my
You're
right
making me move
my
all
right
these
fielder,
motherfuckers.
my right fielder, though he couldn't catch a cold in the winter,
God damn it.
he had the arm of a god. I'm gonna take Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Vladdy Daddy.
I shouldn't even let that happen because you already made him your
That
right
is true.
fielder.
Hey, don't let it happen.
What's happening? What's happening?
Asshole. That was my next pick. You fuck, man. All right, Kyle.
All right, so since he didn't take him, my DH is definitely going to be
Oh my god.
David Ortiz.
Oh my god.
You
All
got
the
pop.
power in my hand. Good
All
luck
right.
facing them.
What's nice is like I don't have to worry about a catcher until the last pick now because everybody's
Yeah,
already picked their catcher, so I ain't even tripping over it now.
All right, it's my turn. Wait, hold on. Let me
Okay.
officially take Poppy off the. All right, so I got my pitchers. I got Pedro K. Rod. I got my catcher to call the pitches. I got Pujols and Bonds as my bats. I'm going with this center fielder. I'm going with Kenny Lofton.
That's good. That's a good
You
pick.
mess up. I'm picking your boy next,
Andrew Jones.
possibly.
I just couldn't do it. You gotta understand, Kenny Lofton was a beast in the field, bro. Like you cannot let anything. You couldn't. Like, he was chasing everything down. So, Naz, you're officially 2 minutes for the next two picks.
All right, let's see who I'm doing here. I don't have a starting pitcher yet. All right,
I
I'm gonna
think
take
there's
my
only
starting
one pick.
pitcher.
There's only one pick for this starting pitcher. And if you don't pick him,
Nah,
you
there's
don't pick
actually
him.
multiple, but I'm gonna go with Greg Maddux for my
That's the
starter.
pick. That was my pick. That was my pick.
Yeah.
You had to go Greg Maddux, bro. He was a beast during this time. Who was you thinking? Since we all got starting pitchers, Kyle, who were you thinking?
Me?
Yeah, were you thinking Maddox too?
Yeah, absolutely. I had Johnson, Clemens, Maddox, and Pedro.
Yeah, that was literally the only four. That was the only four I picked too.
Let's see.
Mario's getting Rob Nen, so we all know this.
I can't. I mean, Rivera.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, that's for Kyle. Kyle gets Rob Nen.
All right, I'm gonna pick my third baseman next. I'm gonna go with Scott Rowland.
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't know. I have two others better than him. Ooh, that's tough. All right, because I don't have a third baseman, so I might have to do that. But
I'm not gonna. Not right now.
I'm a little full.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Because I think.
so I don't have a DH, and I'm gonna need a DH. So I'm gonna go with someone that I don't know if you guys would even pick. I'm going Jim Tomei.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm going Jim Tomei for my DH.
You should have made Barry Bonds a DH. He's an awful outfielder later in his career.
Yeah, but not during this time.
Kind of. I mean, yeah, he was still a 40-40 guy for a
Well,
while.
I'm not breaking rules like you, and I made him my left fielder. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it.
I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again next time.
Scout's honor. Scout's honor. All right, Kyle, you're on the clock.
I picked the second best second baseman of the 90s. I'm going Craig Biggio.
Whoa. I forgot all about Biggio.
I love me some Craig.
Yes. Hey, is he a switch hitter?
No, he's right.
But no. All right, but what I did like is he was a second and a catcher. That was rare. That was rare to see.
Yeah.
So
all right, Mario.
All right. So
Oh wait, that could be your catcher.
I'm gonna move somebody else.
Oh, you got
to another
Pudge.
position.
All right,
Oh my
hold on.
God,
Before
Mario.
you continue, what was the other switch you made before? You switched who?
He switched Sheffield to DH and then put Vlad at right field, even though Vlad is garbage at fielding.
I mean, I would trust that arm though.
That is
That
true.
arm
Oh,
was
okay, yeah.
ridiculous.
That motherfucker. I seen the highlight. This motherfucker gunned somebody down, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
I would definitely trust that arm. Who you picking, bro?
All right.
Time's up.
So
Bro,
I'm moving A-Rod to third. I'm moving A-Rod to third.
Fuck, bro.
I'm
It's
moving A-Rod to third.
it's easy when you're not the one doing the Excel sheets.
You're right.
I swear.
So I'm torn between two shortstops. And I'm gonna pick a shortstop with probably one of the shortest peaks during the 90s. And I'm taking Nomar Garcia Park.
Yes, I was gonna take Nomar. That's a good one. That was a real good
Nomar.
pick.
Yeah, I'm taking Nomar.
I'm so surprised that we have a Red Sox fan in here and he's not picking any of these people.
No, I try not to,
Try not to be
to
biased.
be biased with this.
All right, you got like 30 seconds left, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Andrew Jones.
Okay, that was a cop out right there.
Andrew Jones, the man who should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, for
Yep.
real, man. So much respect for Andrew Jones. I was a big fan of his, and you know that. That's why you said,
Yeah.
like, huh? I'm like,
Yeah,
bro.
Andrew Jones. Look, if we're apparently Kyle's Pitts taking other people's picks, so I'm taking it.
What you
Right, Kyle's
mean?
pitch.
That's not my fault. You didn't pick him early.
Kyle,
Yeah.
you're officially on the clock.
Oh, I'm torn. Let's see. I'm gonna take the Iron Man.
Kyle
Kyle's
Rip.
been doing that.
There you go. I was gonna take him too, but because for me, growing up in the steroid era, if you know me, I like beef, and there's no better beef than Barry Bonds and Jeff Kent. So give me Jeff Kent. I gotta get another MVP hitter in my lineup. So I have Pujols, Kent, Bonds, and Lofton, and Tomei. That's a pretty good lineup right there.
Putting Kent in what position?
Say what?
What position you putting him?
Second.
Second base? Because he also played first. That's the only reason why I'm asking.
Oh no, he was an MVP at second. I'm gonna take
This
the
is true.
MVP. Yeah.
This
So-
is true.
Naz, you got the next two picks.
All right. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm fucking.
Who got left for closer?
Who I got?
Relax. You got Gagne, you got Rob Mann. I'll take Rob Mann.
I'll see it. Heads.
Hmm. All right. I'm gonna go. Oof. This is getting tricky now. It's getting down to the wire. All right, I'm gonna stick with like just some Met fandom here, and I'm gonna take Edgardo Alfonso at second base,
Ooh.
Okay.
and then for my DH, I'm picking a lot of steroid guys. I'm gonna take Jose Canseco as my DH.
All right. So it's me, right? Yep. It's me. It's DDP. So I'm going with. I still need a right fielder, a third base, and a shortstop. But I think, damn, this is tough. We are in those weeds.
Nah,
Yeah.
there's still tons to pick from.
Oh, definitely.
Tons. I'm sweating my buns off in this motherfucker. My titty sweat got sweat.
Hey, yeah.
Hey, yo! All right, so for my third baseman, I'm taking someone from the famous Mariners. I'm going with Edgar Martinez.
You should have took him at DH, man.
Oh, yeah,
I have Jim Tomei already.
Oh yeah, put him to first.
Can
I
Tommy
already
play
have.
third?
I
Oh,
got
you
Albert
Pujols.
Pujols.
Oh my God, you're not.
Yeah, there's no.
Jim Tommy played a little bit of third.
This is true.
I'm not putting him at third.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that either.
All right, Kyle, you're on.
All right, I'm gonna throw you off for a loop here. I am being a homer here in left field. Manny Ramirez.
Manny. You had to though, bro, because that was my next outfielder, but I was gonna be like Mario and switch him and put him in a different position. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I'm gonna leave him
I
here
thought that was breaking rules.
because of my next pick.
All right,
So
you're officially.
I'm completing my outfield here, and my left field is going to be Larry Walker.
Your left fielder?
That's a good pick.
Yep.
Even though he played right field?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
He plays some left too. He played left too. He was more than a capable Gold Glover in the corner outfield spots. And then my first baseman is going to be Jeff Bagwell.
The bag. The bag. Wait, you already have a first baseman.
No, you don't.
Wait, oh no, my bad. I put Roberto Alomar at first base for you.
No, he's a second baseman.
Yeah, no, I accidentally put him in that slot. My bad. Where is he at down here in the pool? There you go. Come on, Kai, it's on you.
Right fielder, Alfonso Soriano.
Oh, that's I forgot about him.
How many years he played during that time?
99 on.
So right field, Alfonso Soriano.
Yep. Small guy, but a little speed.
Speed, yep. He's known for his speed.
All right. Now on me, I need a right fielder and a shortstop. I'm gonna go Luis Gonzalez at right field.
I got two. Still have a manager. Catcher and a manager.
Damn, I should have went someone else, but fuck, it's all right.
Oh, I'm picking.
Go ahead, Naz.
What I'm missing?
You're missing center field, left field, shortstop.
All right. Fuck it, he's still up there. I'm gonna take Derek Jeter at short.
All right.
And for my center field, I'm gonna take Jim Edmonds.
Ooh,
Good pick.
was a good pick. So I gotta take him off. All right, for my manager, I'm being a homer for this one. I'm going Dusty Baker.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. Sorry, Mario.
No, it's fine. I already know who I'm picking. Go ahead.
You're getting Terry Frank. You're getting Sleepy LaRosa.
Tony Lusa.
Hey, he was a monster
Yeah.
in the 90s.
You're
I won't change
Kyle. You're taking LaRussa
Yeah.
over Francona. Oh my gosh.
No, so there was two more that I was gonna pick, and hopefully Mario takes one of.
No, I don't think you're gonna. So, it's my turn.
Yeah, back to back.
Yeah.
So my team need a little attitude, leading the team. They need a little fire. They need a little anger. I'm gonna take Lou Piniella as my manager.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I and I thought about it.
Need a little 1995 manager of the year. I'm gonna take Lou Piniella as my manager. You need a little anger. I need someone to go yell at these umpires. All right, tell them they ain't doing their jobs right.
Fuck him.
And then, and then my catcher, I'm picking Darren Dalton from the Phillies.
Oh, that's not a bad pick.
It's not.
Yeah.
Damn.
You take him over Jason Kendall? That's crazy.
Yeah,
Jason
he's got a hitter.
Hey, what was his name?
Darren Dalton.
That's crazy. So that means you got a closer. So we already know your closer, huh?
Yeah. Oh, me? Or
No. He's taking Rob Nen, right? You can't get your Apple bonds.
Hold on. I still got time. Yeah, we'll go Romney.
We're going
Close
Nen.
off there.
My favorite.
Close off there.
Rob Nett was my
I
favorite.
was gonna go Kanye, but
Is NEN right for Rob Nen?
Yeah.
I wanted
it's yeah.
I wanted to make a personal pick at first base, but I didn't.
Well, Fred
You
stole
sh-
my first boyfriend. So.
You should have picked Jason Giambi, but let's not talk
No.
about that.
The first baseman I was gonna pick, nobody had on their board, but
Who?
he was my childhood favorite first baseman of all time.
Ooh.
JT Snow. I was a big JT Snow fan.
Me too. Me
I was a
too.
huge JT Snow fan.
So I'm kind of torn right now because Mario wanted to throw a loop in our fucking positions. Because now I have to really go into the internet for this. But
What position do you need,
Yeah, what position
shortstop,
do you need?
shortstop.
bro?
There's plenty.
One of the greatest shortstops are still there and haven't been picked yet.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna let. I have 2 seconds.
You have two picks for shortstop that are the right pick.
Pick them.
No, we can't pick him for
Oh,
you.
I almost did it.
We
I'll-
no.
We ran out of time.
You go Derek Jeter or Barry Larkin?
No, Barry
Jeter already got taken.
And you go Barry Larkin.
Barry Larkin,
He's
yeah.
MVP.
Yeah, we'll give you Barry.
One of the best.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. So when I went through this list, Mario, you did fuck it up. I gave 4 per position because I said
what I-
by the position. So you
That's
took
what I-
Nomar and A-Rod from the shortstops. I had no one else to look at, and I was trying to search, but it was too late. So I'll take Barry Larkin.
You go Barry. Barry Larkin was an MVP, bro.
That's what I did too.
He was a monster at the plate. One of the best power hitting shortstops of all time.
So Nash, who's your left fielder?
That's my last pick, huh?
Take Carlos Beltran, bro.
I knew that. Yeah, I knew it.
You know why I'm not taking Beltran?
Because he's Puerto Rican. You don't want to be a homer.
Albert Bell, Bobby Abreu.
That's exactly who I was picking.
Who, Albert Bell?
Albert Bell.
Albert Bell. There you go. So we have our. Bruh. Why my son just threw his dookie diaper in my fucking. He said, "Hey, I need to change." All right. So we have our lineups, right? Here we are, 32 minutes into the cast. We got our lineups. So we're gonna go one at a time, talk about our lineups and how you feel about this lineup. Because when you look at it across the board, no one's losing. Like we got some really good teams. People that we left off. Something I want to talk about before we go. From my perspective, all right. Francona as a manager, Carlos Beltran. And you got Luis Castillo, Placido Polanco, Ray Durham, Ichiro,
Luis Gonzalez, Cliff Floyd, Tim Salmon,
Carlos Delgado,
Wade
Jason
Boggs,
Kendall, Todd Helton.
Omar Vizquel,
Yes,
Troy Ross.
Omar Vizquel should not have, but I should have picked him at shortstop.
Yeah, probably the second greatest defensive shortstop of all time.
The thing about him was it was always consistency. Like he was always there. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of people that we could have picked from. This was fun, y'all. Like I'm happy. I'm glad that we could do this, and we're gonna do other eras too as well. But Naz, you are the first one. I want you to talk about your full lineup. You got Maddox, Hoffman, Canseco, Piazza, McGuire, Alfonso, Jeter, Roland, Bell, Edmonds, Gwynn, Torre. That's a really good team. And I just want to know where your thought process was on how you built it.
So when you told us what the parameters were for the draft as far as positions, and then you said it was like steroid eras from '94 through '04. A lot of my picks. You know what? I'll just do this real quick. I'll share the screen.
Billy Wagner.
Oh.
So like I did, if you notice, the yellow were gonna be my first picks, and then the other color I'm colorblind.
Billy
so
Wagner? Oh
blue.
shit!
Yeah. So Billy Wagner, John Franco was also a good
The
closer.
greatest lefty closer of all time.
I'll kind of scroll down so you guys can see where I was looking at as far as
Sandy Alamo Jr. That's who I should have fucking picked. Oh
yeah.
wow.
Paul Molitor too, like for DH, like he was a great DH during the '90s.
Carlos Delgado. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna let y'all like dissect what y'all see
Yeah.
my 4 picks were. Look at the shortstops. Tell me what you see there. They all went.
Yeah.
2 of them went to one team.
Yeah.
Your ass. Drew, fucking rules.
Yo, I couldn't pick Robin Ventura, bro. I'm not gonna let my dude get his ass beat by a pitcher on the mound.
Then right field.
There ain't no way I'm gonna have some guy on my team that's gonna get his ass beat by
All the
by
right fielders
Nolan
went to.
Ryan. Couldn't be me.
But yeah, that was basically, and I wanted to make sure I included some players who were actually hit with steroids. Who either were suspected of taking steroids or were actually got hit. Were tested positive for them. And then like I threw the curveball starting with my manager. If you notice, I only put one manager up there because I only had one option, and that's what I was going with first.
Yeah.
It's hard to argue Joe Torre, especially that '90s dynasty he had. He took the Yankees to 4 straight World Series, winning 3 of them.
Hell, I picked the shit to the
Like,
Yankees.
Yeah.
like
Just did it. You want to talk about a curveball? That was a knuckleball.
My first 3 picks were all Yankees.
That's just crazy to me because, like, I'm thinking, okay, like, first of all, are you done explaining your lineup? I want you to dissect it real quick before I go.
All right, so let me just look at this. All right, so obviously Joe Torre, Tony Gwynn, bro, that dude, Mr. 300.
I
Like,
thought Mario was gonna pick him because he's the biggest fan I know
I
of
was.
Tony Gwynn.
If he didn't pick him that round, that's when I was gonna pick him.
I thought you were picking him in the first 2 picks. That's what I thought. Go
then
ahead.
you
Go
know
ahead.
the homer, that's why I got the black jersey on right now. Mike Piazza, one of the greatest catchers of all time. Mark McGuire, between him and Sammy Sosa, they saved baseball in the '90s. They took steroids, but that home run, like the count, the breaking the records like every year, over 60 home runs, that saved baseball. Trevor Hoffman, he was the best closer in history before Mariano just kind of took the ball and just kept rolling. Greg Maddux, there's not much we can say about Maddux. He's the man. And that's coming from a Mets fan. This guy was a Brave. Just constantly destroyed us. Scott Rowland, one of the better defensive third basemen that they were, during that time at least. Edgardo Alfonso. It was kind of hard for second baseman because you guys kind of picked all the good ones. Jeff Kent, Craig Biggio. So it was kind of like, I'm gonna just go with the homer pick. Jose Canseco. The only thing I could usually think of when someone says Jose Canseco is he took a ball off his head and went for a home run. Fucking douche. What an idiot. But he took steroids and everyone knows it.
When he broke the camera with the home run.
Oh, that too. Like,
About that.
And he was a snitch, but yeah.
But I had to pick, another person with the steroid ties to him. Derek Jeter, he's one of the greatest shortstop in history. You can't take that away. Jim Edmonds, oh my God, the way this dude could track balls down the center field were like no other. Like I think Andrew Jones really took that away from Jim Edmonds once he hit the scene, but Jim Edmonds was the man in center field. And then Albert Bell.
It's Albert Bell.
The Duke of Rake. The dude had, he wasn't the fastest dude, but he would steal some bags and he could play some good defense out on left field.
Man, so when I was talking about your group, when you threw the Tory thing, I was thinking, okay, we're talking about steroid era. Who is the logo of the steroid era? I'm like, all right, he's taking Bonds. He has to take Bonds. You had to take Bonds first, right? So when you threw that I didn't say a curveball, it was a knuckleball. My pick initially was going to steal from Kyle was Ken Griffey next. It was Ken Griffey. Those two in that era. Kyle explained it. Is Griffey was like Allen Iverson to basketball. He was the swag of baseball, right? He was that guy. Like you wanted to look like him. You put your hat backwards because of him. So that was my initial pick until he threw that. Shoes, right?
Yeah, he played baseball with his own shoes.
Griffey is the only. You can't even tell me another shoe that you're buying for that's a baseball player. You know what I mean? Like it's still Griffey. Besides what Mario's trying to buy, he's probably gonna buy something else. But
Chop ones, chop zooms.
So my initial pick was gonna be Griffey because I thought Bonds was off the board, but I got Bonds. So Bonds was my first pick, and I was happy about it because I got the GOAT. I got the best player of all time. So I have him, and then Y'all gonna stop disrespecting Francisco Rodriguez as a closer. Y'all gonna stop disrespecting my guy. Because if
He ain't the greatest.
I think I think he had too short of a window. Like he was only good like 2 or 3 years. Granted, they were monster years, but like, oh,
for that short of a term, he still has a record out of it. That's what's crazy about it. That's what's crazy about it. So the reason why I love K Rod and respect K Rod is because of 2001. Come on, Mario. That was my first time I ever cried with the Angels beating us.
Yeah.
In the World Series while I was alive, and I saw K Rod kill us with his goggles and all that. So Pedro, you kept talking Pedro was Expos, but majority of the time in the steroid era, he was a Red Sox. So a lot of his time, it was 7 out of the 11 or something like that. I was just looking right now. Pedro, bro, like when it comes to big unit, who I thought I was gonna take, but Kyle took him, which was a great pick. I thought the second best was for me with Pedro. Like you could not like Pedro was so nasty, man. It was so nasty. So Pedro, K Rod, they were my pin. Jim Tomei, need I say more? Like him playing at DH. His big, what do you always say, Mario? Peak male performance. Like
peak male performance.
this man is that, and all he does is hit balls all day. And I was like, cool. I had to take Posada at catcher because I didn't want to get caught up with not getting a catcher because my top 3 was Pudge, Piazza, Posada. And I'm like, okay, I would have took Jason Kendall next. I wasn't really big on the one that you picked, Dalton. Like, he's good, but I thought Jason Kendall was better. So I got Posada, and then, of course, I got Winnie the Pooh at first. Jeff Kent beefing with Bonds every day. Then then I let y'all choose because I really didn't know where to go with my shortstop. I got Barry Larkin now. Edgar Martinez. Yes. No. No.
We shouldn't have picked that for you. I should give you like Rich Riley or some shit. But Barry Larkin was one of the 3 or 4 greatest shortstops of the '90s. And probably top 10
the only reason why I didn't I drew a blank is because what you did, Mario. Like you threw off the whole thing with the picks. You took Nomar and A-Rod, and I was like, fuck, those are the because it was Jeter, Ripken, Nomar, A-Rod for my shortstops, and I'm like, cool. We're all gonna take one of those, and then your ass want to fucking change it up, and I didn't have nothing to look at. So Barry Larkin, I appreciate that. Edgar Martinez, I know you guys think that he should have been a DH more, but Edgar Martinez, yeah, I liked him. And then my outfielders, bro, how much of a fan are you guys of Luis Gonzalez, bro?
Huge fan of Luis Gonzalez.
Big fan of his.
Yeah.
I loved watching him play.
I love watching, looking at highlights because I was a kid when this happened. But looking at highlights of him destroying the Yankees in that 0-1 World Series,
yes,
I love it.
Yes. That was one of the challenging because, like you say, you're a kid. I was like at least 13, 14 when I was watching this, and like that was my first sport I loved watching. And I'm a huge Yankee hater. You know what I mean? Like I fucking hate the Yankees. So
welcome to the club.
yes. So like got him, Kenny Lofton. People said I should have got Andrew Jones because I'm a fan of Andrew Jones, but I'm not gonna take away from what Kenny Lofton was. That motherfucker was a beast too. And then of course Dusty Baker, who just got his ring this year. He's always been successful wherever he went, and I'm just happy that he got what he got. So Kyle, it's on you.
Hey, before you go, Kyle, I just want to make sure I fix this spreadsheet. Oos, I'm missing one of your picks. Who is it?
So, what position am I missing on yours?
Hold on, because I kind of have to like scroll through and see. Let's see, you got left field. Like, if you could look at the list.
Baker. You didn't put Bonds. Oh no, you did. Pujols, Pedro, K-Rod. Oh, Jorge Posada.
Oh, that's who I'm missing.
Yeah,
Got
my
you,
catcher.
got you.
Fred does love his switch hitters.
does.
Bro,
Switchblades.
switchblades. I don't know, bro. Like when I was playing the show, I play better with the opposite. So if you're a left-hand pitcher, I like being a left-hand batter against you. I don't know why, but I really play better on the show with playing against the same side. Oh, yep. All right, so go ahead, Kyle. Explain while I go over here and see what the heck Marley just did.
So for Ken Griffey, there was no other player that I could have chosen, especially in the position I was in. I would have been real upset if Fred would have taken him. I probably would have went Pujols in that position instead of Johnson. With Johnson, growing up, the first thing I remember is him killing that bird. And I was like, man, this dude throws pretty hard.
That's his photography logo.
Well, yeah, it has to be.
That's photography
Like,
logo.
he's such a successful person off the field, and then to come be a photographer for like NASCAR and all that stuff. And then I went with a homer pick. Not a Braves fan by no mean,
Literally.
but he was just one of those players that stood out to me growing up. Pudge, I was a catcher growing up. Don't know how small got, but Pudge is who I actually like mimicked my game after.
It's my favorite catcher of all time, bro.
That man had a lot of heart, and I loved it. And then I threw a wrench in some people's plans for the second time, and picked Frank Thomas. Y'all really thought that I was just going to pick David Ortiz and not fight for Frank Thomas at all.
That would hurt. That would hurt more than the Ken Griffey Jr. was. If he told me he was picking Griffey last night, so I had enough time to like heal my heart. Not for that Frank Thomas one.
No,
that was
it's not.
We're blaming Naz for that freaking first pick.
That was the ultimate form of like friendship betrayal.
So I had to take Frank Thomas first because I knew y'all were gonna leave David Ortiz on the board.
Not for long, because I was gonna get him.
Both of y'all, I knew he wasn't gonna pick him right after me because he thinks David Ortiz isn't the best
DH of all time. Frank Thomas.
So I had to hit him where it hurt, and I took both of them.
Yeah. You think you know somebody.
And then Craig Biggio, I thought it as he could play multiple positions. So, if Pudge needs a day off, give him the day off.
Who will play second?
I'll figure it out. We'll go out there and play second.
La Russa.
With Cal Ripken, you could definitely depend on him. He'd never take a day off. Maybe, they moved the game time a little bit to make sure it happened.
Maybe because his wife was cheating on him, allegedly.
It's okay.
Allegedly.
We get him there. And for the game.
Hey, yo.
So, allegedly. With Manny, I have a love-hate relationship with Manny.
What a sweet swing that man had, though. His swing, oh my God.
His swing.
I love his swing, bro.
It's so amazing, but he can make some dumb decisions in the field, cutting off a throw, that type of stuff. And being a Red Sox fan really hurts when you think about it.
This bat makes up for it, though.
Oh, absolutely. And then with Alfonso Soriano,
in position too.
I could have picked Ichiro, and I think I should have. But
the thing is, like, when you think of Ichiro, like, I don't think of Ichiro like as a steroid era guy. I think of him as like a 2000 to 2010
and I think
guy.
the same thing.
So I get that.
And even though at one point in time he wasn't,
yeah,
hated him for it.
Talking about Ichiro, what hurts my soul to this day? That he didn't play his whole career as a Mariner.
I think what hurts me about him is he didn't play his whole career in the majors. He played a lot of his career in Japan.
Ichiro is still to this day, in my eyes, the true hits leader.
He is.
Yeah, absolutely.
He also could have. I mean, he should be the hits leader.
Yeah.
but they don't take it.
Japanese baseball is pro baseball, and it's
Uh,
very close to majors in my eyes.
and then my manager,
Larissa.
so Mario actually picked my manager that I was gonna pick if Larissa was off the board. But I just remember Larissa being successful when we were growing up, or when I was growing up, and I couldn't really pass on him. Mario was gonna pick him too, so don't let him say he wasn't.
That was my second favorite manager of all time, and I got to meet him in person before he was a wackadoo.
And then
Before he was.
Before he was
sleeping.
Sleepy Tony.
And then Robin, I was upset that y'all took the closers earlier. So it just threw my whole plan out the window, and I was like, man. But Robin's good. He's a good pick. I actually love him, and I love playing with him on the show. So I'm happy.
All right. So Mario, talk to me about your bum ass team.
So,
Hey, he's losing.
First of all, y'all can get fun. But like, it's funny because like I look at my first three picks, and like when you think of like the greatest team of the '90s, it is the Yankees. For the same reason, Naz picked Joe Torre. My first three picks were all Yankees.
First four.
Alex, oh yeah, for Gary Sheffield too. But like my Alex Rodriguez to me is the greatest shortstop of all time, and he should have been a shortstop when he went to the Yankees, and they should have moved Derek Jeter to second because Derek Jeter was not the fielder that A-Rod was in my eyes. I'm not as big of a Jeter fan as most people are.
So wasn't Soriano second?
Yeah, but like that was like I was like after like A-Rod had already got there. A-Rod was there, and then like Soriano came like a few years later.
Who was second at the time?
Cano? No, that's later too.
No, was later too.
Yeah, Cano was like 04, 05.
Was it Chuck I think it was Chuck Knobloch, I think.
It might have been.
I think it was Chuck Knobloch.
I know Soriano had 2 stints with the Yankees, and one of them he played primarily outfield.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man.
And then when I picked, and then like I knew the arms race should have been on earlier than what it was, and I wanted the greatest closer of all time of any era.
Yeah.
Of any era. Over 20 plus years, Mariano Rivera had a 2.21 ERA. You can't pitch like that and have that good of stats. Mariano Rivera was the one player that you knew that the cutter was coming every single pitch, and you still weren't going to hit it.
You know what sucks about Mariano though? He was a failed starter. I imagine his stats as a closer, his per nine.
All great relievers are failed starters.
Yeah,
all great closers were failed starters at
some
some point.
Here's a stat.
The only player that had success, that was two players that had success as closers and starters I can think of off the top of my head, was Dennis Eckersley and John Smoltz.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like those are the two guys you think of.
Most saves all time.
Yep.
Mariano Rivera is at 652. Trevor Hoffman is right behind him at 601. And the person I chose was 437. So he's light years away from anyone that we picked. Besides Hoffman, who I know Nash picked.
And I don't think anybody, that's a record that I don't think any reliever will catch.
No.
At all.
Not anymore. Not with the arm injuries and all the babying that they do now with trying to save pitchers' arms and stuff.
Yeah. Mariano, go.
Though my guy will always be Randy Johnson, Roger Clemens to me is the best pitcher of all time. You don't get 7 Cy Youngs like that being shitty. He still holds the record for the most Cy Youngs all time. And he has 2 Triple Crowns. You don't get the name Rocket for no reason. The dude was a monster. Gary Sheffield was one of my favorite players growing up, and the only other batting stats that I mimicked as a kid growing up. Ken Griffey Jr. and Gary Sheffield were the two that I mimicked growing up. So that was a childhood pick, and he has over 500 home runs. Robbie Alomar, I grew up a second baseman. Robbie Alomar was probably my favorite second baseman growing up besides Jeff Kent.
I hurt my soul when he took Robbie.
And Vladimir Guerrero, the reason I like him so much, even though I know I hurt Kyle that I did it.
You hurt me too because you fucking changed your freaking positions with that one.
Yeah,
I got Vlad this fucking round, and you're like, let me change him over here so I can do Vlad.
Sucks to suck, Bro, I loved watching him play because for
Yes,
multiple reasons.
man.
He was a terrible fielder, but he could make it up with the strongest arm. He was terrible with his glove, but like he could make a bad read, not catch the ball, and still
Got
get a
him.
guy out at second, third, or home with no issues whatsoever.
Absolutely, 100%.
And he's the only player that I've seen golf a home run off of a ball that bounced off the floor.
Facts.
So like what I love those free swinger weird types of guys where like he's gonna it doesn't matter where you put it, inside the zone, outside the zone,
Bad ball hitter is what they call him.
swinging,
Bad ball
and he's
hitter.
taking it deep every time.
Out.
Yeah.
So
Sprint.
I was a
He's
big
pressing square on the controller every time.
yeah. He was just swinging. It didn't matter what the pitch was. It didn't matter where it was. He was swinging and he was making a hit out of it, and he did it with no gloves on. So
Yes, that's a good point.
and then Nomar to me, I think, barring injuries, could have probably been the greatest shortstop of all time. Barring injuries,
You stole him from me.
He had the craziest like 5 or 6 year peak with Boston. It was disgusting, and he was a monster. Andrew Jones, I picked that with despite Fred. To be completely honest with you,
That's my guy, bro. I love that guy, bro.
I picked Andrew Jones despite Fred. Over 400 home runs, perennial Gold Glover. Andrew Jones is a monster.
Man,
Larry Walker,
he's a goat.
former MVP, was a phenomenal right fielder, but was also phenomenal playing any corner outfield spot. The other guy that nobody picked that I didn't think about was his running mate Dante Bichette, who was a monster too.
Mm-hmm.
Dante Bichette was a monster as well.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Dante Bichette was a monster as well.
Bo Bichette, daddy.
But Dante Bichette, they always thought that Dante Bichette's stats came because same with Larry
Coors
Walker
Field.
because of the Coors effect. Yeah,
Mhm.
but still though, I'll just play all my games at Coors Field. We'll be all right.
Whatever.
Jeff Bagwell, now he's a Hall of Famer. It was last year, right? Last year, or the year before, something like that.
All fucking time. They took long enough.
Yeah.
It took
fucking
him long
time,
enough.
bro.
He
He has
was
a good
fantastic.
batting stance too.
Yeah, fucking all the way down there. He was fantastic as well. So Lou Piniella. So when I grew up watching baseball, all right.
I can't believe you picked him. I can't believe you picked him, bro.
This is why. There was 2 teams that were always nationally broadcast, no matter where I was. The Braves and the Cubs were the 2 teams that were always on. And I loved watching Lou Piniella go out there and berate men for making the wrong call in the field.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
That's like ingrained in my mind. Is Lou Piniella exploding on umpires. And it was the greatest thing just to watch this man blow up and defend his players the way he did. So as for Darren Dalton, I felt like he was a better defensive catcher than Jason Kendall was. I have enough batters 1 through 9 where I'll be all right, where I can bat him 9th and not really have to stress about it. He was a former Silver Slugger, and he was a former hits leader. So like I'm not losing anything in the offensive stats, but also at the same time, the catcher's arms race fucking came out a little earlier than I was expecting to. So after that, I was left. When somebody picked a catcher, everybody was like, "Oh, okay, we're all picking catchers." And I was just the last one in that line. Everybody turned on the catcher, knob on that one.
Well, you gotta think. You said it. There's only 3 that really mattered, right?
3. Yep.
2 of them was taken, and I was next. And I was like, I'm not letting Mario take the 3rd one.
I was gonna take Mario Posada. I was going to.
That's the 3rd one because I'm a Pudge fan, and you have to respect Piazza. And then after that, it was Jorge Posada. So it's like after that, I was like, no.
Like the drop, like you have like 1 and 2, then like Posada's like right under that, and then the drop off after that was
right.
Like, massive.
And I wasn't couldn't afford to take the drop, bro.
It was huge.
It's very tech.
Oh, nah.
The only catcher in history.
Of course, a Red Sox would do these no-nos.
Look, when
he catches multiple no hitters, like you have to consider him one of the.
So why didn't you pick him?
Look, when I have Roger
because I had to go with the heart and go with Pudge,
look,
right?
When you have Roger Clemens.
Just because you're hurt, don't blame it on me.
When you got Roger Clemens and Mariano Rivera going back to back, it doesn't fucking matter who's calling the game behind the plate.
I got one thing to say about your Roger Clemens take, right? Yes, 7 Cy Youngs, yada yada. Known for taking steroids.
Yes.
How you gonna disrespect Nolan Ryan as not being the best pitcher in Major League history? He don't have no Cy Youngs. I get that.
It's crazy.
But he got the most no hitters, and he pitched.
Kyle's been said that.
We're throwing no hitters in his 40s. There's no way Roger Clemens is better than
I'm
Nolan
not
Ryan. I'll take Nolan Ryan any day.
Shit out of a man.
Yeah, he did beat the shit out of man. I like Nolan Ryan. I think he's like on the back end of my top 10 all time.
Really?
I don't know.
Mario,
know
bro.
You think you know something.
So
I'm a pitcher,
So-
and that hurt my soul.
All right, hold on.
Mario, I need to know your top 10 now.
Facts.
I'm just gonna ask some questions about who you would rather have. We'll just play who would you rather, right?
Oh,
No
shout out to that one podcast that does this. Who would you rather have?
I'm gonna name some names. Pedro Martinez.
Over who?
Or Nolan Ryan.
It's Nolan Ryan or whoever I name.
Okay,
Pedro Martinez.
I'm taking Nolan just because of longevity.
Sandy Koufax.
Nolan.
Bob Gibson.
Bob Gibson's
Taking
best
Bob
year
Gibson
was
over Nolan
before the mound got changed, but I'm taking
Regardless,
Nolan.
it doesn't matter how many rules have changed over baseball over the years. I'm not
taking
like
Nolan.
I'm taking Bob Gibson easily. Bob Feller, I'd take over Bob Gibson, or I'd take over him. There's a lot of players I would take over this guy. Yes, bro. Maybe he's probably like 6.
How about this? It's hard to compare just for the simple fact that one took roids, one didn't.
Well, no,
Nolan
yeah.
did it natural.
So if we're counting steroids, I take Roger Clemens out of the picture.
Yeah.
I take Roger Clemens out of the picture.
And that's the thing. It's hard to like
steroid era players currently. So like,
yeah.
Why I took Roger Clemens. The steroids were in play on this draft. So I'm like, in that
yeah,
mindset,
of course.
In that mindset for drafting a player, it's all fair game. It's all fair play.
Yeah. I'm not mad that you picked Clemens. I'm just saying that when you said Clemens was
You
the
said
pitcher
best
history.
ever.
If we don't count steroids, it's Roger Clemens.
What?
Like if you guys don't use steroids as one of the grading factors, it's Roger Clemens. To me.
The greatest?
But he got his
over-
stats because of his steroids.
Over Randy Johnson?
Yes.
Oh
No way.
God.
There's not counting steroids, there's no way, because at
Kyle.
the end of the day, that's the asterisk. And I think David Ortiz making
So if we're counting steroids and we take that out, I'm probably taking Randy Johnson. Randy Johnson would be the best pitcher to me.
No, so let me put this in perspective. Steroids is allowed, right? On what I'm about to say. Steroids is allowed. And we're talking about all time. You're taking Roger Clemens over everyone.
Yes.
Damn. That's a hot take, bro.
Yes. 2 triple crowns, baby. Hell yeah.
I don't really care about awards, though.
That's not an award. That's being the best pitcher in ERA. What is it? ERA, strikeouts, and
innings pitched.
Innings pitched. Is innings pitched?
Innings pitched.
ERA, strikeouts, and innings pitched.
Is it? Yeah. That's not even an award. That's not like an award that's voted on. You either you got it or you don't.
No, it's
fair.
ERA, wins, and strikeouts.
ERAs, wins, and strikeouts.
Wins and strikeouts. Yeah.
Wins. Okay.
The most wins twice. The best ERA twice, and the most strikeouts twice. Led all 3 of those 2 times.
But how many no-hitters does he have?
How many no-hitters does he have? Actually,
Let's find
yes,
out.
let's find out.
Hey, compare it to no one.
My God, I hate your computer.
Why? Because you can't type on it?
Yeah.
Hey, you don't need to search it. I'm giving you the answer.
Has the most no-hitters. That's fine.
Naz got it.
He's never
a nice donut. A nice donut. The moment you said it, I was like this the whole time.
How can you be the greatest pitcher of all time
and you
don't have a no?
You don't need to throw a no-hitter to be like the best pitchers ever. You don't.
Who has the most no-hitters?
There's so much more that goes into that as well. Like, there's so much more that goes into that.
How long did Clemens pitch for, longevity-wise?
I'll let
What's
you
that?
have your opinion.
Longevity. How long did he pitch for, like his seasons?
For eternity, it feels like.
Now with
Yeah,
steroids,
he-
that shit broke down.
84 to 2007, however many,
But look at
24 years.
but look at the end of
First
his
Nolan Ryan.
But look at his end of
Didn't Nolan Ryan pitch like 60 years and shit like that?
damn near. That's what it felt like, anyways.
70 fucking years.
I mean, even in 2006, he still had a 2.30 ERA.
But look at 2007.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gonna leave
That was
that's
his last year.
that's like the Jordan years of back in Washington.
I'm-
What, we don't count those?
I'm taking. I don't care what
Come
you want,
on, man.
I'm taking right
Now look up Nolan.
Oh my gosh,
I
Mario,
love
bro.
this.
I'm taking
That's why I
Roger
waited for him to say his whole lineup, and now I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna come with this Nolan Roger argument. I've had this before with somebody. It was like Nolan Ryan and somebody else.
But
That's a good take though, Naz. Like that's good discussion.
Yeah, he's talking about his last 2 years were trash too.
Bro, Nolan Ryan is the GOAT in that picture.
35 and 20.
exactly, bro. Like,
He was 43 and 44. That's a 2-year difference. It's not like the peak between 44 and 46.
it definitely is.
No, it is.
Yes, it is.
It ain't.
Yes, look at Albert Pujols.
But
Yeah.
Nolan threw a no hitter when he was 46, so I think that right there says a lot too. During right before the steroid era, because he threw it at
Roger Clemens
93.
was 44.
He didn't throw a no hitter at 44.
Nope. No,
How many one? How about this? How many one hitters does Roger Clemens have?
Yeah, let's
I don't know.
move.
No.
Because Nolan has the most one hitters as well.
I'm taking Roger Clemens. I don't care. I'm dying on this hill.
You've been dying on a lot of hills, Mario.
I'm taking Roger Clemens.
Half his picks were the best ever.
I'm taking Roger Clemens.
I
like
cannot
this though, man.
I cannot
like
do
this,
I
man.
cannot do it, bro. I cannot put Roger Clemens over Nolan Ryan off of a lot of things that Naz brought up.
And
Longevity,
honestly, if Barry Bonds was never tied with the steroid thing, I know he never tested positive, but you know, it's kind of one of those things like if you really sit here and say like, oh, he never took steroids, relying too much. But I always said if that was never tied to Barry, I would say Barry's the best hitter of all time. But the steroids thing, fuck, it's gonna tarnish that shit.
My thing is this: why you say that is Bart, like, say steroids is a thing, then who's the best player all time?
Barry Bonds.
No, I'm
is it
saying
really?
no. If steroids is a factor, we take all of that away. Who is the best player all time
Like without steroids.
without steroids?
Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah, Ken Griffey, because he
Yeah.
did most of his shit natural from the hitter side, you know.
Mike Trout
During the steroid ever. Yeah,
Mike
Mike Trout has injury history. Yeah, I know Ken Griffey did
Yeah.
during his now, like towards
I was
the
about
end
to
of
say
his
Ken
career.
Griffey had injury history.
But yeah, but that was towards the end of his career. But during the steroid era in the '90s, playing with his dad, like
Yeah.
he performed through that. Like we had all these guys hitting home runs, and Griffey was playing small ball and still hit over 600.
No, I'm not arguing. I'm just putting this in there.
No, I know.
So Ken Griffey to us is unanimous, the best player minus steroids.
Yeah, steroids. Yeah.
Damn, can you imagine like him not injured, bro? Like
But
that was the guy.
but I think baseball wouldn't have lasted without the steroid.
Without the steroid, and that's what I said. The steroid era, like between Bonds, Sosa,
McGuire,
That
Dumb
home
hitting,
run-
Seiko,
that home run
Giambi.
Yeah, exactly. I said it right when we started. This shit saved baseball. It saved baseball. It did.
And that's the thing. I hope y'all have time to talk about this, but like when it comes to the steroid era, like they're putting asterisks on everything, right?
Yeah.
Do you give them? Why don't they give the money back of all the stuff they revenued from steroids? That's the thing that it's like you're gonna punish the players, but yet you're gonna keep the money that you gave. That's the thing that I hate about it is because for me with steroid era, pitchers were taking steroids, batters were taking steroids. It's a fair game. And the only people that were getting caught were the famous people, the big names. But who's to say that the guy from AAA that just got to the league wasn't taking steroids too. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many factors. Like, that's why they call it an era. I don't get why they did it. Like, they shame it. That you guys, I want y'all to talk about that.
That's like I've told you multiple times. That's you can't tell baseball's story without 1994 to 2004. That was peak must-watch TV
Right.
during
Yeah.
that time frame. That was peak. People who weren't baseball fans were tuning in to watch the McGuire Sosa race.
That was
You know what I
fun
like?
to watch, bro.
Yes, bro. Like people who weren't baseball fans were lining up to get tickets to watch Barry Bonds hit his, break the record. Not just the home run record, but the single season home run record. People were lining
Right.
up for that shit. So like, I don't know.
I think
They-
another cool stat with Barry is the amount of times he was freaking intentionally walked.
That's the
Yes.
thing. That's the thing
crazy.
that
Like,
I bring
he was
up,
so
bro.
scared to face this man because anytime he put barrel to ball, it was going. And on the Barry story,
He
too,
had bases are loaded, and they was still
they'll walk
intentionally
him. They'll
walking.
take a run and walk him.
Right.
Another thing too, I feel like honestly, they threw David Ortiz in the Hall of Fame last year, right? Barry
Yeah.
should. There's no reason why Barry can't make the Hall now because Barry never tested positive. He just
Boy,
it was
before y'all
suspected.
disrespect that man, it was a false positive, and it was proven.
Kyle.
Hold on. Now, I'm not
There
saying
are
Barry doesn't.
there no. Leave him away. There are people in the hall that were tested positive for. Babe Ruth was winning home runs with cork bats.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't
But
like.
I think it's David Ortiz and Barry Bonds are two separate situations.
What I
I
don't
think
like.
I think both deserve though. I think they
Yeah.
deserve to be in the hall
It's
though.
like Pete Rose deserves to be in the Hall.
Poppy deserves to be in the hall. Ruth, him too.
Like, how you gonna punish a man for betting on himself to win a game?
And now everybody's betting.
Like,
What I don't like is where they draw the line at. All right,
Facts.
you have people who are in the Hall of Fame who are awful human beings, right?
yes,
Ty Cobb was a perennial racist, and he
Ooh.
was throwing his cleats at people as he was sliding into second and third. And they had
I
like
mean, so was Chase Utley, but
yeah, well, yeah, but like
him.
you have
Fuck
that,
that guy.
but then you're gonna keep people out like Kurt Schilling, who I think is a bona fide Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
because-
I think he should make the
because
Hall.
he's a fucking crazy. That had nothing to do
Yeah.
with what he did on the field. Like, don't like if you're gonna do that, kick all these motherfuckers out that were already in there that have their own history. If you wanna pick and choose these people.
That is where I'm going with
What
that.
you're saying is we'll accept racism, but we won't accept guys that took steroids.
And you know that's something too. Like I don't know
That's
how
the
much.
message you send.
I don't know how much MLB radio you guys listen to on Sirius XM, but I know we were talking about Mad Dog the other day in the
I
chat.
listen to Mad Dog every day.
Hey, but
I hate him, bro. I hate his voice.
before
Not
Bagwell,
necessarily Chris Russo, but like the channel itself. Like they
Yeah.
have a bunch of other good people. Chris
Bef-
Russo's a little incoherent and a little out of touch, but
I hate his
Hey.
voice, bro. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Naz.
but before Bagwell made the Hall of Fame, right? He was complaining that the way they vote, like the voters, the writers, the baseball writers, the way they vote more on their feelings towards the people and their emotions towards them, or how they were treated when they were once analysts and interviewers,
Stupid.
instead of voting according to the stats. Because one, Andrew Jones should be a Hall of Famer.
facts.
If
Y'all
Ozzie
know
Smith
I'm a
wasn't a good
fan.
hitter, Ozzie Smith is in the Hall because of his glove. Andrew Jones was a good hitter, and his defense was outstanding in center field. Andrew Jones should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Again, if they could vote David Ortiz, they should vote the other people who either were suspected, false positive, whatever it was. At the end of the day, David Ortiz's name came up on the list that was associated with taking steroids. A-Rod was on the same list. But then he got popped for real, because he's an idiot. And the biogenesis bullshit, a lot of people also got caught with that. But Barry should be in the Hall of Fame. If David got in, might as well just put Sosa in. You might as well put Clemens in. All those players, because at the end of the day, all right. So now I'm gonna sound like I'm supporting steroids for a second. I'm not, but I'm just saying, as a hitter, You could take all the steroids you want, but if you don't have hand-eye coordination to swing
Hand-eye
it back in the
coordination.
lane and hit the ball, it ain't doing nothing. How many players take steroids, get popped, and their numbers are shit while they're taking steroids?
So that's where I was going with this, though, Naz. Is everybody in that era was taking steroids, but not everybody was hitting bat to ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got this AAA guy that's coming in. Oh, he's a good hitter, but he's on steroids and he's the back of the lineup. He's not even fucking starting.
Yeah.
But it's steroids. But they're only managing to bring up big names about that era. That's the only thing it is. And I think it's fair game. I really think it's fair game.
Yeah. No,
What
I
y'all-
agree.
Y'all
think
over there
that
laughing at?
voting is just.
He looked at his own.
Yeah, I saw. So I had the screen up of what was being picked. So he closed it. So I closed out of it, and I saw myself close up, and I got disgusted. So that's all that was. I was like, ugh.
Go ahead. Talk. You had a point come in.
Fuck. What was I saying?
Sky is falling.
What's that?
The sky is falling.
Yeah, I just lost my train of thought by looking at myself being ugly.
We're
What
talking
was I
about
saying?
we're talking about the steroid era, how it's balanced. It's like fair game, even if it's AAA players coming in. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter.
Like I was telling them under my breath, I would always laugh when you saw like nobody's pop for steroids. You were just like, who?
Yeah.
They were like suspended 80 games. I'm like, who the fuck is that?
That's
You know
how I
what I mean?
felt in 2015 when they were like Henry Mejia popped for
Really-
PEDs. I'm like,
you know
he
what I mean?
fucking
Really wasn't
sucks.
helping.
yeah,
Yeah,
he wasn't doing shit for us.
yeah. clearly.
Jordani Valdespin got hit with PEDs, and I'm like,
Yeah, you're like, dope.
The
That ain't gonna affect me none. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck. I just don't like how it's just I hate how unpredictable the voting process is because there are
It's
players.
trash, bro.
There should be way more players that are getting voted in than aren't actually getting voted in,
Fact.
and it's kind of weird because you need to hit like a certain percentage by a certain year, and then you got to like build up on the percentage of voters on a certain year, and like there are tons of players that were off that should be in, and I'm just like, just let them in. You know what I mean? Like, you made your money off of them, you made your history off of them. You can't tell this story about baseball without them.
That was the point. That was the point, Mario. I was
Yeah.
about to bring up is you cannot talk about baseball without that story. If you cannot talk baseball within that era, then
Sammy Sosa.
okay, you have to talk about them during that era. That's the story of that era.
Barry Bonds, Rafael Palmeiro, Roger Clemens. You
Jose
can't talk
Canseco,
about
you can't, bro. You
You
can't.
talk 90s baseball without them. 90s
You know what I
baseball,
think,
these
too?
guys were the face of 90s baseball for over a decade.
That
I
was
think,
the star of baseball too, bro. That was the
Yeah.
best. That was the rock and roll of baseball.
Essentially.
I think MLB needs to adopt some of how the NFL inducts their Hall of Fame players. Probably not the amount of players, because some reason, like when the football announces their Hall of Fame, it's like fucking 10 people every year.
Yeah.
But the fact that some of the players that they picked to enter the Hall were their impact to the game.
And that's how it should be.
Like Calvin Johnson was a phenomenal wide receiver, but when you compare his stats to other wide receivers, like say Randy Moss and stuff, Calvin Johnson made an impact in the game, and I think they should adopt some of that for baseball. But again, like I said before, a lot of the writers and the people voting for the Hall of Fame for baseball, they're voting on how they feel towards the player. Like, was this player a good person or blah blah blah, instead of their stats.
So what I think Major League Baseball struggles with the most compared to football, compared to basketball, compared to, soccer, is exposure. International and national exposure, right? There was no more better exposure than the MLB got than the 90s. Even now, the 90s was that golden age of people who weren't baseball fans were becoming baseball fans because of this crazy shit that was happening. You know what I mean? And stuff like that is what got me into baseball. You know what I mean? Watching Barry Bonds, watching Sammy Sosa, and watching all these guys do that. And I don't know if I would have gotten into baseball without that, to be completely honest with you. Who's that? Shalom.
Shalom. Look,
So
So for me, I'm like, on the same page. I think the Hall of Fame for baseball is one of the worst ones out there
Facts.
because of how they vote for it. Yeah, I'm not saying let everybody in that played baseball once or a few games, but like if you had a great career, no matter if you took steroids or not, like vote them in. And I think what's gonna have to happen to change it is to stop letting the writers vote them in. Do it like old players, like people that are already in the Hall of Fame. Like let them vote on who they think made a big impact on the game.
Impact is the word. You know what I'm saying? And then you guys brought up a lot of the impact they did. Sosa, McGuire. That was must see TV when we were growing up. You
Facts.
wanted to see who was gonna win this race. You wanted to see Bonds hit the single season home runs or the all-time home runs. That's the thing that we tuned into. You're not tuning into anything else after that. And guess
Yeah.
what happened? The product was steroid built. And that's the thing I hate is if you're gonna negate them from the Hall of Fame because of steroids, they give them the money back that you fucking revenued through the steroid era. That's the thing I frustrate with. Oh no, you should. We don't want steroids. All right, well you should not get steroid money either. Give that shit back.
Do you know, in my opinion, what the worst thing for baseball is?
Tell me.
Baseball purists.
Tell me.
Baseball purists.
Mm,
Baseball purists are the worst thing for baseball because you get these
right.
guys who are stuck in their way, who don't want to change anything and don't want to grow into the modern era of professional sports. And you see football has evolved, basketball's evolved, soccer's evolved, hockey's evolving, and people want to keep baseball the way it was in the early 1920s. And that's not how you're going to get little 5-year-old Timmy into baseball sitting at a 3-hour fucking baseball game
Shout out to
waiting
Tim.
waiting 2 to 3 minutes between pitches. And that's
That
and
makes
like
sense though. Yeah, you're right.
which is why I like the rule of the timer, which is why I like the rule of the ghost runner, because it promotes what people want. And people want to see these players score. They want to see players score. They want points on the board. And I'm a defensive guy, so like I love a good pitching matchup, and I like good defense and stuff like that. So like somebody
Facts.
like me, who's like in love with baseball, like I'll take a 1-0 game going into the bottom of the ninth. You know what I mean? But like that's not gonna get your average guy into baseball. People want to see people scoring 5, 3, 4, 5, 6 runs on the board. You know what I mean? And
Right.
because if you don't, it gets stagnant and people get bored and people don't tune into the game that you're watching. So people don't want to watch the A's play baseball. People want to watch the Yankees play baseball because they're putting up all these runs. You know what I mean?
Right. Naz, you said facts. What do you mean by facts? Explain why you agree.
Um, I really think like I don't want to go to a baseball game and sit at the park for 5 hours. And it's
Facts.
happened. And it's happened.
Facts.
And
Facts.
it's happened. It's happened plenty of times. And even those extra inning games, I went to one extra inning game. It lasted 14 innings. And I said, if I ever have to experience an extra inning game, if the game's not over by the 10th, I'm out. That was hard. And I'm like hesitant to take my son to his first baseball game. And he wants to. But the kid don't sit still. And I could just imagine trying to have him sit still for 3 hours. On top of, you get there early enough. You get there at least 2 hours prior to the game because parking, traffic. I'm a Mets fan, so the city vibe. So parking and traffic.
Metropolitan. Yep.
And the thing is, like with football and basketball, you know when the game is ending. You
Yeah.
can be like if you have say you have family, like okay, the game will be home at this time. I'll be home by this time. Baseball, they're like people. You know how many times somebody's asked me when you're gonna be done? I'm like, when the game's over, man. I'm gone. I'm like, when's it over? Like it's over when it's over. You know what I mean? It's over when it's over. That's when I'll be home.
Yeah, another thing too, like I know this is a different podcast, but even wrestling shows have gotten like that too, where back in the day you knew a pay-per-view was gonna be from 8 to 11. At 11:05 was like the latest.
Yeah.
Now you're like it just you press play and you just wait for it to end. It's end at 11:15,
And I'm
11:20,
already
11:30. When I went to WrestleMania 35, the fact that I sat in that fucking stadium for 7.5 hours, that's the reason why I would never go to WrestleMania again.
He flexed right there. You hear that?
Like,
He
Yeah,
flexed.
right. Like,
He
oh
just-
yeah, I just went.
I went to WrestleMania.
and the thing is, like, going to these games are like cool, and it's an experience, and it's something fun to do, and it's something that like I want to take my son to do to show him something that I love, and maybe he'll love it too, and stuff like that. But like, I don't want to take him to these 4-hour games. Like, granted,
We're out. We're out of there. We're out
these
there
games
by
are
the ninth.
fantastic, but like, we all got fucking lives. You know, we all got lives, and I can't dedicate like if I'm home watching the game. First of all, games are better on TV anyways. For any
Facts.
sport,
Facts.
you don't got traffic. You don't got to pay expensive amounts for food and snacks. You don't got to buy $90 beers. Like that.
You know what I
like,
hate about
bird.
watching games on TV? I fucking hate commercials though.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you're either watching commercials or you're at a live game just watching dead air. You know what I mean?
So-
You're watching dead time.
No, that's like when I'm at the game, right? And my wife says the same thing. She's like, "How do you hate commercials, but you could go to the game and you don't complain about the in between the innings?" And I'm like, because in between the innings, I'm actually watching them get out to the field, take their grounders, the pitchers
Yeah.
warming up. At home, yeah, you get in 2.5 minutes of commercials, but every interval of commercials, some of them feel like 5 minutes. You're like, bro, they just changed the pitcher, the bases loaded. Like, what's taking so
But
long?
like it's crazy. Like you know how many times I've left like to go, like I'd be at home, right? And it's like the third or fourth or the second or third inning, and I'm gone for like an hour and a half, and I come
Fifth
back
inning.
and it's only in the fucking fifth inning. I'm like, you miss, and it's still 0-0. So like you missed nothing. You know what I mean? Like you missed nothing.
Now that you mentioned that,
So, like
I wa-
they show these videos now, the difference in like the pitch timer. You
yeah,
got people who are getting out in 3 minutes. Like they'll show like side by sides of like the same pitcher last season and this season, and
Yeah.
pitchers and players will be getting out within 3 minutes. Where like when you look at the other one, it's like 3 minutes to just get the second pitch out. And I'm like,
So
you know what I mean?
I
Like,
was watching the Japan versus Chinese Taipei game from the WBC. No
watched that.
lie, dude. It was like I think it was like the fourth inning, fifth inning. I said, "All right, I'm gonna just go chill for a little bit." I took a shower, took my kid a shower, and read him a book. It was like probably an hour, 15 minutes. Only like 2.5 innings have passed, and I'm like,
yeah.
it's because they don't have the clock. They don't have
Yeah.
all the rules that we're
It's
seeing in
but
spring
if you
training.
notice, though, some of these pitchers, like that are professional pitchers, like play in MLB, are still keeping with that timer essentially a little bit to kind of like still get on that time. Because
That's
like
fair. That's fair.
I was watching the Netherlands game, and like their pitcher was like he was just firing off. Like as soon as he fired it, got the ball back, and he was ready to fire again. So like a lot of these pitchers who are playing in MLB and have that timer to adhere to in their respective league, they're kind of semi-adhering to that a little bit to kind of, because the last thing you want to do is start pitching slow, and then you go back and then you have to speed your time up again.
Yeah, because
You know what I mean?
they're only gonna have a week
Yeah.
to get back into it after WBC. Well, depending on
Like
how
Shohei
far the
Ohtani-
team makes it.
Like Shohei Ohtani, who was one of the slowest pitchers last year in between pitches, was still keeping up with that timer to fire him off within that MLB clock time period.
I
So,
wonder how they're doing it, being that those stadiums don't have the clock during those games. I wonder how their mental clock is working for that to try to
Yeah,
stay
I'm
with
sure-
it.
I'm
Sure,
they're just
they
trying to
have
speed-
something.
I'm sure they're just trying to just
So-
be quicker on it.
I'm not a huge fan of the pitching clock, but
What?
I will say
Explain.
if we're gonna have it, 20 seconds isn't a whole lot of time. Like,
Not with runners on base. And you
Yeah.
missed the last show. You weren't in the last show, but we spoke about the clock a little bit about how like I feel the way other sports have changed their last few minutes of a game, baseball needs to change their last inning. When there's a game on the line, turn the pitch clock off. Because batters need to fucking process, and so do pitchers. I would hate to be rushed in the ninth inning just because I got
Facts.
a pitch clock going off in the game. And say if it's the World Series, dude. Imagine a World Series ending because of a pitch clock violation. I'd be blowing up MLB's phone line like, yo, y'all need to take that shit out. That's bullshit.
Yes.
I really like the Ghost Runner. That's my favorite one.
I like the
I
Ghost
like
Runner.
I like the
I do
Ghost Runner
too.
for selfish. I like the Ghost Runner for selfish reasons because in MLB The Show, if I go into extra innings, like I got a real hard time getting
I
my focus
was-
on base.
I was literally
It'll
gonna
pop
say
up.
that. I was literally gonna say that. That's the only reason why I like it. I got a fucking ghost runner.
Yeah, let me throw a speed guy at second and call it a day. I like
Look,
that shit.
Listen,
But
this
the
was
moment-
a fun podcast. We got 4. Kyle. I'm so happy you're here. Right? It's been a
Yeah.
while. It's been a while. I know you had your situation, and I'm glad that you're here to talk. You know what I'm saying? Mario, put your hat back on before you look like me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saving it
No,
for a couple weeks.
He needs to keep it off so
Hey,
he doesn't look.
I'm
He
shaving
wants
it
to
in
be
a
the
couple
only
weeks.
bald guy on the podcast, man.
Yeah.
Hey, watch for the head then.
Yeah.
Naz,
Oh, yeah.
Naz, of course, I'm so happy you're here because you bring a lot to this table. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are really good at this when it comes to baseball talks, and I'm happy that we're here. I just want to let y'all know that my roster that we drafted is better than y'all 3. Okay?
That's false. He's the only one losing here.
That's false
He's
too.
getting his ass whooped.
Mario's shit.
I'm winning the
Mario,
World
your
Series.
shit. World Series. The Wish App World
Yeah.
Series? What the fuck? You ain't winning shit.
Hey, Roger Clemens the GOAT, and I got him. All right.
He's not the goal
I said
myself,
what I said.
and that's fine.
Roger
Hey.
Clemens, I'm taking him.
I don't
Like,
know, Kyle's team looks dangerous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at them right now. Kyle's team looks dangerous. You know what? Before we get out, let's just pop these up real quick again.
Hold on.
Oh.
My team field all of you too, and I'll pitch all of y'all. You ain't gonna hit Mario Rivera.
Okay.
unless I pop steroids in him. But I'll let you know right now, I'm not last place. I'm gonna tell you right now.
I'm not either.
Oh, your team can't even field on the corners.
Who?
Chipper Jones was an average fielder at best. Don't lie to me. Who's your first baseman?
Frank Thomas. That's fine.
It's gonna take him 90 years to get down to the ball because he's 90 feet tall.
But he makes it up on the back end.
Hey, listen, you gotta face Albert Pujols and Barry Bonds for 3 and 4.
You gotta face Griffey, Frank Thomas, David Ortiz. Like, come on.
Dog, you ain't got no speed.
Soriano.
You ain't got,
Home runs all day. Toledo.
you ain't got no speed.
Soriano's my leadoff.
All right,
Look
man.
at y'all, bro. Listen,
What? No speed?
Yeah,
Rodriguez had speed.
barely.
Roberto Alomar had speed. Noah had speed. Andrew Jones had speed. There's 4 motherfuckers out of my lineup. That's almost half my lineup.
I'll beat that by homers.
All right. I can do that too.
Barely.
like, comment, and subscribe to the Sodaflex podcast, especially for show your phone and show the logo real quick, Mario.
Oh shit! The logo I
I
did.
think being nice.
Oh, this phone or which one? This one?
Adios, Pelota. Hey, listen, I love y'all boys. This was fun. We're gonna do another draft. Before I leave, what's the draft era?
Let's go modern. Let's go now. Let's go
No.
today.
Let's go 2008 till now.
That's a big
Last
tag.
That's,
yeah.
no,
15 years.
no.
15 years.
We gotta keep
I'm
it.
good with that.
No. We gotta cap it at 10, bro.
All right, so
Cap
how
it at 10.
about
Hey, let's go.
let's do 2010s.
14.
Let's do 2010s.
So 10.
So that we could have the opportunity to have Trout and Harper and all of them in the draft.
So 2010 to 2020.
First thing.
So 2010 to COVID. That's our
Yeah.
the COVID era. That's what we're
Prior
gonna call it.
COVID season. So
Hey,
2010 to
Your
2019.
little bullshit sorting hat, Harry Potter sorting hat of who drafts. I'm gonna need him to give me a better draft spot.
I know.
I'm not getting undercut by this asshole anymore.
I know you're not talking with you over here switching positions when I told you not to switch positions.
Yeah, right, I am.
All right, so next one, we cannot switch positions.
What?
So
Why not?
I'm about to
Don't be
fix
good.
this. Kevin, that's not Kevin. Kyle, you're first. Mario, you're second. Fuck that.
Let's go.
Yo, they're gonna argue so much in the next one.
Hey. So this is I'm putting it right now. Kyle, number 1. Mario, number 2. Naz, number 3. Me, number 4. That's it right there. Kyle, Make
No.
sure you.
I want a recount. I want you to count.
What is this? A 2020 election?
Goddamn right. I want to see your your Harry Potter sword hat video in our group chat.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. Hey, I love y'all, bro. Y'all enjoy your
Trust me,
times.
man.